My brother-in-law said my tattoo was offensive, so I exposed his gross secret Instagram. My brother-in-law Adam makes a big deal out of how woke he is. He's the kind of guy that will cause a scene at family dinner if you use the word crazy and go on about how it's ableist and offensive. I don't even disagree with him on the big picture stuff, but I think sometimes he takes it too far and it seems performative. But the other day he made me feel really insecure and actually made me kind of spiral for a few days. I have a few tattoos, and I got a new one last week. I have a cat, Squidward, who has an extra toe on each of his paws. It's really cool and rare. I got a tattoo of one of his paw prints with his extra toe. I was psyched about it because Squidward is my main squeeze and now I can have him with me everywhere and show off his cool toes. I showed it to my family at dinner and they all said it was really nice, but Adam did kind of an awkward laugh and said, "Wow, I thought you liked Squidward." I was so confused because obviously I love Squidward, why else would I get a tattoo about him? But then he said, "You got a tattoo making fun of him for being disabled. Don't you think that's kind of offensive?" I laughed at first because I thought he was joking, but it turned out he was dead serious. He said, "How do you think a person with a limb difference is going to feel when they see that tattoo?" Now that I'm looking back on it, it seems kind of ridiculous, but my sister sort of agreed with him and said maybe someone would be offended by it and I don't know. I just started freaking out. I actually went home and cried worried that I accidentally got an offensive tattoo. I googled tattoo removal and looked up ideas for how to cover it up. I was so worried that I was going to hurt someone who saw this stupid tattoo I got for my cat. Finally I messaged a casual friend of mine on Instagram. She's super hot and disabled and works as a model for accessible clothing. I said I was sorry for bothering her about this but laid out the whole story of the tattoo and my brother-in-law, asking her if she thought it was offensive. I showed her some text messages he'd sent me over the past couple days, saying he was sorry if he hurt my feelings but he just felt it was his responsibility to be an advocate for the disabled community. My friend said, "Okay, first of all, that's ridiculous and this is not offensive at all. Your tattoo is adorable and I'm sure Squidward isn't offended. Second of all, I think I know that guy." She recognized the picture he was using for his contact and showed me Instagram messages she'd gotten a few months back. It was this guy, named Adam, who was messaging her being super creepy. He was telling her how hot she looked in her last photo and saying he'd always fantasized about being with a girl with one leg and lots of really dirty graphic poop about what he imagined intimacy with a one-legged person would be like. It was a lot. I told her, "Oh my god, that's completely him, and I'm so sorry." She wasn't really fazed by it. She said unfortunately that happens often and she just blocks them and moves on. But I pulled up the account and had a look. Adam had a whole secret Instagram account where he exclusively followed hot disabled girls. I opened up some of their profiles and there were so many creepy comments from him on their recent photos, telling them that he couldn't stop thinking about them and whacking his weenie. Disability advocate my butt. I couldn't believe that this guy had made me feel like he was the freaking high priest of what was and was not offensive to disabled people and made me feel bad about my tattoo when he'd been doing this. I was in total shock. I didn't do anything until our next family dinner, and once he asked me if I'd gotten that tattoo removed yet, I pounced, like a cat. Squidward would be proud. I had printed out screenshots of some of his Instagram comments and the messages he sent my friend, and I passed them around the dinner table without a word. Once everyone realized what they were looking at, there was a huge uproar as everyone freaked out and Adam tried to get the papers back. He tried to deny that it was him, but the way he recognized them instantly and started freaking out made it very clear that wasn't true. He and my sister left dinner right away. I think she was just in shock. I heard from my mom yesterday that she started divorce proceedings. I can't believe all of this happened because of a little tattoo.